The objective today is to create and use something called mail merge. So today's lesson will give you a tool that can speed up redundant tasks. This same concept can be applied to many different contexts, so it's up to you to figure out when and where. This nifty trick might save you hours, maybe days of your life, especially if you ever get an internship. So no one wants to be this guy right here working late, going through papers. And I had an internship at an economic consulting company one time, and I wish I knew this concept of something called mail merge. And if you're interested in programming or automation in general, like this idea is what it's all about. Finding ways to do mundane tasks easier and quicker. So here's our layout for the day. It's going to be a very simple day. First, I'll define and compare mail merge to other things you may know about. We'll do some rapid research, then build a spreadsheet, write a letter, and then we'll combine those two. That's what mail merge is all about, combining a spreadsheet and a letter, essentially. So definitionally speaking, is that a word? Definitionally. So the definition of mail merge is the automatic addition of names and addresses from a database to letters and envelopes in order to facilitate sending mail, especially advertising, to many addresses. So in Microsoft Word, you'll see it right here where it says Start Mail Merge. Don't forget to read these descriptions under here. It says create one document and send it to multiple people. You can insert fields like name or address. Word will create a copy for each recipient and replace those fields with that person's info. So in the picture, this is what we're doing. Taking two files and merging them into one. So if you've ever seen the .csv, that stands for comma separated values. Of course, when you look at it like this, it is pretty ugly. This is kind of how computers just look at things. It's not pleasing to our human eyes. And speaking of things that are not pleasing to the human eye, Regex is a similar concept, I thought. So I'm bringing it up now so you just have something to compare mail merge to. And if you're going to take my more advanced programming classes, you should know about Regex anyways. Regex stands for regular expressions, and technically speaking, it is a sequence of characters that define a search pattern. So usually this pattern is used by string searching algorithms for a find or find and replace type of operation on strings, or just strictly for input validation. Input validation is a big thing in cybersecurity, and then operations on strings. If you know what strings are, these are words. These are characters next to each other that create words, essentially. That's all it is. So for me, I'm thinking mail merge is like bring in these strings to this spot for the mass production of a similar type of document, while regex is like go find these strings in these spots. So it's almost the reverse. Like the reverse flash of mail merge. Also, regex is equally evil because of how hard it is to read. So there's two big ideas in regex. You have these things called literals and meta characters, and they can be used within a programming language to do stuff. If you just look at this apparently is well known and super chaotic and difficult to understand. And the last thing I'd like to say about regex is you may have been using it without knowing that you're using it, or at least benefiting from it without knowing that you've been benefiting from it. So in a single sentence, the purpose behind this is to keep trolls from posting things on Wikipedia. And some of the things that are not allowed on Wikipedia make a lot of sense, right? This regex was used to create what's called a blacklist. Okay, but back to mail merge. The first thing we need to do is create an Excel spreadsheet. I'll take you there in just a moment, but I want to describe your task to you. Basically, we create a spreadsheet of your favorite artists, like music artists. If you want to go with other artists, that's fine. But what we want to do is figure out where they are from, and we're just going to take a guess here as that will be their mailing address, and we'll leave a blank spot for the address because let's just imagine one day we'll know where they specifically live. And then we can finish up this little project of ours at that time. So I'm going with music artists. I love smooth jazz. So here are 3 of my favorite smooth jazz artists. So here's their name. So I'm going to write a thank you letter to them. So I'll address them by their name. And then there's going to be a spot for their number address. And then city and state is the fun part. So this is where you get to figure out where they're from. Now, Wayman Tisdale may not actually be from Phoenix, but since he played for the Phoenix Suns, I thought I'd go ahead and put that there. And it's always cool to get to know the people you admire here. This guy was from the Ukraine. I did not know that, but this Ukrainian guy can make some great smooth jazz music. So we're going to create that spreadsheet, okay? And the way mail merge works is it's sort of like how your garage door works, all right? There's this guy in an office somewhere far away, like in a server room, and he looks at your CSV file and he types in the name that you're providing him in this Excel spreadsheet. So he'll type in the name, address, and zip code, and then he's doing this for every document for you. That way you don't have to. This is similar to the way bank machines work. Here is the Calvin and Hobbes. I love these comics. So Calvin asks how they work. His father says, let's say you want $25. You punch in the amount. And behind the machine, there's this guy with a printing press who makes the money. He sticks it out of this slot. And then Calvin says, oh, sort of like the guy who lives up in our garage and opens the door. Exactly. Okay, I have a weird sense of humor. The way mail merge actually works is it will take table like this. So let's bring it to an Excel spreadsheet, paste it in. We make it look a little better for you guys at home. Okay, let's go way bigger. How about that? Spread the... Okay, so after hours of making this table look a lot nicer, let me delete this row right here. That way the first row is the title of each part of mail merge. So now I'm going to save this document and I'll throw it on my desktop just because after this lesson I have no need for this and we'll throw it away. Smooth jazz example. And did you know if you go here and just type in the thing you want, like Word, and press enter, Word will pop up. And I typed in thank you letter here for the templates and it looks like they have one already, so that's nice. It says your name, street address, city, state, zip code, and date. Let me get rid of all this. I want mine to be really simple. So right here, go with artist, address, city, state, and zip code. Okay, so you insert merge field. So I got artist, address, city, state, and zip code. And I can click this and edit individual documents just so I can check them out. And there you go. So document 1, I'm sending this to Lynn Roundtree, a terrific trumpeter. Don't save. Next up is Wayman Tisdale. Notice I should have changed these things down here. Thank you for the lovely gift of flowers. All right, that's just because that was my template over here, right? So here I could say instead, thank you for making amazing music. And blah, blah, blah. I could just gush about how great I admire their music making skills. Okay, and go down and here's our Wayman Tisdale one, and down here is the last one, Constant Clash Torney. On YouTube, I just search for Cool and Clean, and that's how I find his music. So that was it for the lesson. Very short video. Pick an IB attribute that connects to today's lesson. I could tell you a lot about the importance of thank you cards or thank you letters or thank you emails to people. So I'm leaning towards the caring idea. Today's lesson should have been a relatively easy one for you. Your DOL is essentially to create this list of musical artists and a letter of gratitude for their work, and either record a 30-second video of doing a successful mail merge for me, or just create those documents and show them to me or send them to me, and that would be great.